Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Natasha. I am Planted in Platinum. You can find me over on TikTok and Instagram for more planty content. I have not filmed for a whole month, so I wanted to come back with some plant room updates. You guys, I have so many updates for you guys. I'm so excited to catch up with you today. So if this is something that you're into, grab yourself a coffee, get cozy, and let's get right into it. All right, you guys, we are in the corner of my plant room where my acrobar lives on my desk. I do have some plants here I want to show you. So my acrobar I have cleaned out. As you can see, there's no plants in there. There's just some moss and a hygrometer. So we have a new planty project we can do in the acrobar once we figure out what we want to do. I'm not sure yet, but I will get there. So all of the begonias that lived in there, they had sprouted and I found them new homes. So it's nice to have that emptied out and cleared. But on top of the acrobar, we have my begonia tiger paw propagations, which I have harvested so many. They just grow from the bottom of the stem, which is super cute. Like there's so many roots in there, but every time they grow a bit, I just pop them out and I make babies. I'll show you. See, aren't they cute? So I just make these little babies and put them in one of my exos and just let them hang out and grow in there. And they just grow into their own little plants, which I think are so adorable. All right, and the next update I wanted to give you, excuse the boxes behind me. I just stocked up on my shipping boxes for this season and I have nowhere to put them all. There's so many of them. Anyways, let's carry on. This is my Hoya Pandorata Vietnam Silver, and look how pretty that is. I think this is the only Hoya of mine that isn't a propagation anyways, that lives downstairs in my plant room. I love it so much. It is literally so cool. I love the long slender leaves and I love the silver on them. I just think it's very different and unique from other Hoyas. And this one, I think I'm just going to let it trail and see what happens. Do you guys have this one? Are you letting it trail or do you have it on a trellis? I don't know what to do with it. I'll have to look it up, but I think I kind of want to let this one trail and see how it does trailing. I'm not too sure yet, but I do love her. She's awesome. Let's do this one. Gotta love the Aurea variegation. So this is my Monstera adansonii Aurea. When I repotted her into this bigger pot, which she does have a root coming from her bottom of her pot again already. But anyways, she literally started browning her Aurea variegation, which is super annoying. Super annoying. So I'm gonna have to get some silica, and since she is in drainage, try to give her some silica and see if that will strengthen her cellular walls enough for her to maintain that Aurea variegation. We'll see if that works or not, but if not, then I don't really have an interest in growing this if it's just gonna keep melting on me. I don't know. I don't like melty plants, okay? They drive me nuts. And I have my anthuriums here from Vanessa, my friend Vanessa, who is the gardening queen on Instagram. She gave me a bunch of her anthurium seedlings a while back and they're growing. I did let go of some of them because I have multiples of all of them, but there's some that have new leaves and I just really wanted to show them to you guys. So the Anthurium Indo Ace of Spades crossed with Indo Pap. I have a couple of them that have new leaves. This is the first one. Isn't that cute? Oh, I just love it so much. And look at the leaves. They get so dark and beautiful. I'm really excited to grow these out and to see how they look, if they're very similar to each other or if they're different. I'm sure they'll be a little bit different. So this one is another one of the Indo Ace of Spades crossed with Indo Paps. And that's the newest leaf on that one. Isn't it pretty? And then those are the older leaves. So pretty dark. I love this leaf. It's so cool. It's giving me Ace of Spades vibes. And so this was the other Indo Ace of Spades crossed with Indo Pap. So there was 3 of those ones that were giving me new leaves. So pretty. I just love them so much. And then we have an Indo Pap crossed with an Indo Ace. So the reverse cross And look at that leaf, you guys. Isn't that something else? Like, that is so cool. I love it so much. So pretty. These are such cool plants. I'm really excited to grow them out. They're all just hanging out in pond and drainage, except for these little babies. They're in no drainage, but the bigger ones are in drainage. So yeah, I'll keep you guys posted on how those leaves harden off. I might make an Instagram post on them. We shall see. And my epipremnum bumpy is just growing like a weed, you guys. Like, look at that. How cool is that? There was one leaf on here that was doing something cool. Was it this plant? Maybe not. There was a leaf growing out of the leaf, kind of like this. You can see that at the base there. It's like poking out, but it was more pronounced. But if you guys don't have this plant, you need it. If you like texture, like, it's so interesting. Do you see how textured that is? That's why it is called epipremnum bumpy. I love it so much. I'm really tempted to put this on a moss pole and see what it does. But literally I have too many plants on moss poles right now, so I'm not going to do that right now, but I will eventually, because I think this one would look really cool climbing. If you are in Nanaimo, we're having another planting market at Triple Moon Mercantile, which is at 76 Bastion Street. So if you're local or you live on Vancouver Island, come on down on the 30th. From noon till 3, I believe. I'll put the poster up here so you guys can see, but I'm really excited to be attending another planting market. I have lots of babies that I'm really excited to find new homes for. You guys, this is terrible. So terrible. Look at this overgrown moss pole, but isn't it pretty? So this is an epipremnum tricolor. It's literally so pretty. But it's on a lazy moss pole that has moss up to here, literally, and in this little cup. I need to chop this up, but I already have so many propagations of this, but this is one I really need to put on a pole eventually. I don't know what it is with me and epipremnum. I don't ever put them on a pole, or scindapsus. Like, I should just put them on a pole as soon as I get them, but no. Anyways, that's an overgrown moss pole for your viewing pleasure. Oh, I did chop up my variegated zippolinium and it is sprouting some new growth. So I'm really excited to see that new growth coming in. I can't wait to see what it looks like. This is the coolest plant ever. I am obsessed with it. I think it is so funky and so weird. It's just so interesting. But yeah, so that one's starting to grow again, which is exciting. So I'll keep you guys posted on that. My Alocasia cuprea, the new leaf got stuck when it was growing and it is super funk. I might just chop it off. I'll show you. So this is my cuprea here. She is looking cutie, but this is her newest leaf. As you can see, it got ripped and mangled. It grew inside of this tape, like right in the middle. It came right through and I didn't notice it in time. So unfortunately it got absolutely mangled, but that's okay because she's still cute. She's still cute. So I don't know. I think I'll chop that leaf off and just wait for another one. So that's kind of a sad update. But we are getting a new leaf on my Alocasia aslanii right there. It's gonna be so good. I love this plant so much. I need to up pot it a bit. As you can see, the stem is pretty bare, and for alocasias, you want to cover that with moss so that the baby corms can grow in and it supports the plant. So what I could do is either put a moss topper on here or just repot it. But as you can see, there is so many roots in there. If you can see that, yeah, right there. So it does need a repot. So eventually I'm going to be needing to repot this, and then I'll go corm hunting at the same time. Like I can see one right there. It's like pressed up against the side. This one corms like crazy. So Yeah, I'm sure that there's a lot in there. I just need to find them, but she's looking cute. She's so dark and beautiful. And her new leaf is coming in, so that is super exciting. I'm glad that she's doing good in ambient. I took her out of my cabinet probably like a month ago or a month and a half ago now. And yeah, she seems to be doing great. So that is good to see because that wasn't always the case with her. See if I can put this on the table here. Yeah. All right, so this is the RVDP that I'm growing, and this is the newest leaf, you guys. It is so beautiful. It's really, really hard to see, but the venation is literally red. It's not showing up on camera. It might be, but it is literally pinky red, and it is so beautiful. If I move it, you can kind of see the color in the veins. I wonder if I move it closer. Oh yeah, you can see it kind of in the close-up view of it. It's literally so pretty. I'm so excited. These leaves harden off so dark. Like, look at that. It's wild. Super dark leaves. But she is in bloom and alternating a new leaf and a bloom. So after this leaf, I bet you I will get another bloom. And I have some of her pollen saved. So we are going to make baby RVDPs, which I'm so excited for because she is so gorgeous. And another one that I moved into ambient is my begonia iron cross. And it is definitely dropping a couple leaves, but all together it's looking pretty good actually. So I'm not concerned. But yeah, no, she's growing and she's looking great. So I think that this one is fine to be out of the cabinet. The lady that I got this from, she told me that it would be fine to bring out of the cabinet. And I think that the root system is good enough where it can come out of the cabinet. I mean, I did just repot this not too long ago, but it didn't even skip a beat when I repotted it. Like, it didn't melt or faint or anything. It was fine. So I think having it drop a couple leaves for me, giving it a repot and moving it out of my cabinet under 5 leaves is pretty good. So this one seems like a pretty hardy begonia. If you want to get into begonias and you aren't sure where to start, this one is so cool. So it's also called Begonia masoniana. Begonia iron cross is a nickname for it because of the pattern in the middle of the leaves. Resembles an iron cross, which is pretty cool. So yeah, it's fuzzy, grows like a weed, and it's super eye-catching and pretty. And it even looks good from the back. Like, look at those beautiful colors. Yes. So here is one of my anthuriums that I moved out of my tent into ambient. This is a Papino ID. I thought this one would be fine. I mean, I need to get it out of no drainage, but I didn't want to repot it before I moved it out. So I'm just gonna let it pop a new leaf out in ambient and see how long that takes, and then probably repot it shortly after that. Maybe I'll let it sprout 2 leaves. We'll see, because it is going to need a repot out of no drainage into drainage. Another thing I could do is drill some holes in here just so it is in drainage. Maybe I'll do that. We'll see. But yeah, isn't she cute? I love her. Okay, so now we have moved over to my cabinet. I have my Ripsalis hanging off the top, and you guys, it is getting so long. Like, look at that. That is wild. I almost sold this one. Oh, look at this. Look at this long Ripsalis strand. I'm not sure what they're called, little arms. But anyways, I almost sold this one, and I'm so glad that I didn't because I think it just looks so cute just dangling off of my cabinet. Off of the side. I think it looks so pretty there. And then I also put my anthurium Zara Michelle. Sorry, this is crystalline and crossed with Zara Michelle. I put this on top of my cabinet and she immediately gave me a bloom, which is super exciting, but she is literally still in her original cup. So she's gonna need a repot before I pollinate her. But look at her, she's so beautiful. And I think I'm just gonna collect this pollen and pollinate something else with it because she needs a repot. And she's also pushing a leaf, which is going to be just beautiful. Like this is her last leaf. I'm not sure if she'll size up because she's quite root bound, but we'll see. If she's bigger than this one, I will be so impressed. I think that's such a pretty anthurium. And I also moved my Mama Begonia Lyman Smithii onto the top of my shelf as well, out of my cabinet, because I kind of want to see if that yellowing is from being exposed to too much light or if that's just actually what the begonia is supposed to look like as it matures. Because if you look at pictures online on Instagram of this begonia, you will see that it does have the yellowing in it as well. So I'm wondering if it's a light thing or if it's just supposed to look like that. Either way, it looks really cool. It's kind of like camo-y, but I just want to make sure that I'm not doing anything wrong, but it's still super pretty. And then in my cabinet, all right, this is my begonia Dracopelta. She is in bloom and looking so, so cute. She is getting so big. I'm gonna have to up pot her soon. She's just in a little tiny cup, but I think she's happy in there. But yeah, she's looking so good and she's sun stressed. Like, look at this leaf here. So red. I think that's just beautiful. This is such an underrated begonia. I absolutely love this begonia so much. I wanna learn how to make baby begonias by pollinating the flowers. That's something I haven't started to learn yet, but one of these days I want to learn how to do that because I think it'd be so much fun trying to make my own baby begonias. And you guys, look at my red Anderson. It's looking so, so good. Oh my goodness. So the newest leaf is this one here, which is so beautiful. I think this is my favorite leaf. Like that is amazing. So pretty. So then we've got a leaf, of course, stuck in the sheath below. Darn it. You gotta love philodendrons. They are always, always doing that. But anyways, I'll fix that later. I wanted to show you her new leaf. It's so pretty and she's just looking so good. I have literally restarted this plant so many times because she has just not grown well for me. So it's nice to finally see her on the right track. Something else I wanted to show you guys out of my cabinet is my Alocasia Longiloba aurea. Look how pretty that leaf is. That is insane. I did not expect a huge leaf that size to come out of it because they're just in these little pods, which I need to get it out of so bad. But yeah, isn't that crazy that this giant leaf popped out of that? And it's so beautiful. Oh my goodness. I still have another corm here that hasn't sprouted, so hopefully it's okay. Maybe I'll peel it later and see how it's doing. But yeah, isn't that just so cool? And a while back, I purchased a serendipity variegated corm, and I haven't had any luck with it. You can see like the odd flecks of variegation, more on the back of the leaf actually. See that? The flecks of variegation show up better on the back, I think. But yeah, she hasn't shown me any variegation, so I'm going to just keep her and harvest her corms, and hopefully we can get some variegation with some of her corms because it would be so cool to have a variegated serendipity. And look how rooty it is in there. There's lots of roots, so I could probably repot it soon. That's exciting. Another not so good update is my Burl Marks mint that my friend gifted me. Seems to be like completely reverted. I chopped this right back and yeah, this is what grew out, just these green leaves. So hopefully with any luck, if I chop them off again, we can get something that's got some minty variegation on it, but I don't know if I really want to keep trying. I mean, the philodendron Burle Marks mint is beautiful. I would love to have one, but I just don't think this plant's gonna give it to me. I really don't. So I might let this one go. We shall see. And in the corner, we have my Monstera Esqueleto, and she is getting so big. She is going to need another pole extension soon, as she's getting to the top here. But this is her newest leaf here, which is super, super pretty. I wonder if I can move it closer. Try this here. That is her newest leaf right here. It's so pretty. I think it's just gorgeous. I think Monstera esqueleto is just something else. Like I always was obsessed with the Adansonii, and I had like a forest of Adansonii in my tent when I first got my tent. And to have a Monstera Adansonii basically on steroids, like this thing is huge. It's just like a dream come true. I could not be happier. I don't even think I own a Monstera Adansonii. Actually, my Aurea. I own my Aurea, but that's it. And then this one here, and then my Indomint as well. But yeah, they're just so cool. Like the holy plants, even on Marketplace, like people who aren't plant people that are just like looking for plants, they always ask about the Adansonii. I used to always post them and they would sell so fast. But the esqueleto is so easy. I love how easy this plant is. I grew this plant from a literal sprouted wet stick probably a couple years ago now, and it's just a monster. I just love it so much, and it literally fills the pot up with roots. It gets insane. But I want to check on those roots now that I just saw that it looks like some of them are rotting on me. I'm gonna have to do some root surgery on those. It looks like the tips of them are rotting, but that's okay. The plant still looks healthy and fine. I think it may have just been sitting in water for too long. Oopsie. But that is her, and I think we're gonna move on to the lower portion of my shelf here. So I have this plant sitting in front. I wanted to show you quick. This is my Goliath X Self, and that is her newest leaf. So beautiful. I cannot get over this plant. It literally is so freaking cool. And like the emergents are super purple, and you can still see it on the back here. Look how purple that is. Like that is insane. I love purple so much. So when a plant gives me a lot of purple, I get super excited. But this is her. Of course, the new leaf had to unfurl behind all of her other leaves, but that's okay. It's still beautiful. And I think after this one is hardened off, she's coming out of here. Gotta repot her, so. But yeah, she was on the floor in front of my shelf, so I wanted to show you her quick. Yeah, let's just go ahead. So my Dragon's Breath here, no really new updates. I think it is trying to fill the pot out with roots because I did just repot her into this ginormous pot, as you can see, because she had a crazy root system. So I repotted her into this pot, and she's just been chilling. She did give me a leaf. No, not a leaf. She gave me a flower, and I cut that off. So I'm kind of just waiting to see if she's going to give me another flower or if she's gonna give me a leaf. So hopefully she gives me a leaf because that would be ideal, but she's not looking her greatest right now because of her repot. So hopefully she perks up soon because I love my Dragon's Breath so much and I just want her to grow into a big, beautiful beast. And then this is my Meg Bevep. You guys, look at that leaf. It is so big, so big. And it's not even fully hardened off yet. Like that is insane. It is so beautiful. Oh my goodness. I'm going to damage your leaf. Move you out of the way, sorry. But yeah, isn't she just gorgeous? I can't even believe it. This is the leaf before. Do you see how small that is? And then how giant this is? Like that is insane. But I did repot her into this pot. So she did bless me, and she does have some roots that I want to chop off under there. I have just been chopping roots off that come out of the bottom of pots if the pot hasn't filled up with roots, because chopping those roots off underneath, number one, will prevent me from having to repot the whole plant. And number two, it will encourage root growth from the other roots inside of the pot to fill the pot up more. So that is something I have been doing at my house, and it has been working. So it's nice to not have to repot my anthurium so many times because the roots are always looking for water. It's kind of wild, but she's so pretty. I love her. And if you guys remember, I did have a couple plants in the back here. One of them was my Burley Marks Flame, which I have over by my shelf, which I'll show you. It just got too tall. And the other one was an anthurium that I really need to repot that grew an inflow, and it was pressed up against the top of the glass. So I just took it out of there to give the inflow some more room to breathe because I do want to collect the pollen off of that. But I'll show you them in a couple minutes. And so next up on this shelf, we have the weirdo alien plant. So this one was the Moodianum hybrid crossed with maybe crystallinum, and it grew leaves like this, like with an open sinus. And then it grew this one here, which is fused at the top, which I thought was so cool. And then I repotted it and chopped a piece off of it, and it grew this one. So I think that I might have either number one, stunted it from chopping it and repotting it, which is why the sinus didn't fuse, or number two, this was just a one-off thing, and maybe this is the only leaf that's going to do that. Or maybe it will alternate leaves, or I'm not too sure. I kind of want to see what the pattern is, so I'm not going to chop this one again for a while. I just want to kind of observe it and watch it grow. It's got lots of good roots in there, which is sweet. So yeah, we'll just have to let her grow and see what she does. Hopefully she gives us some more of those cool funky leaves. And then in the back here, I have my Voldemort, and my Voldemort has an inflow coming out right here. So I'm not sure what I want to do with that, but I think at one point I overwatered her because her leaves kind of like crisping off. Even this one in the back, you see, which is super annoying. But as you can see, she needs some of her roots chopped as well. So she's got lots of roots coming out of the bottom. So that's probably why the leaves are doing that, because they're sitting in water for too long. But we do have a pup growing from her, which I'm waiting to separate for my friend. Sorry, my mother light is rocking. Okay, anyways, I wanted to show you her pup. Super cute. But yeah, I want to separate her for someone that I'm trading with soon. So I'm just kind of waiting for her to grow. She's got a leaf stuck in the petioles, so I'm not sure how that's going to come out. But we will keep an eye on her. I do love this plant very, very much. I'm really hoping to see more of these pronounced lobes on the next leaves. That would be just so cool. And while I'm here, I'm going to show you guys my Monstera Devon's Tie, or Aurea. I just have it on this cute little heavy stool that I got from Winners or Home Sense. Super cute. I love it. And I did chop this for a trade for a friend, and I do want to get it out of here because it is literally so root bound in there, and I don't want it in no drainage because I want to feed this plant silica. Because of the yellow Aurea variegation, it likes to crisp off, which is super annoying. So yeah, she is sprouting a new growth point from where I did chop her, and she does have really nice variegation. So I'm hoping that the variegation stays nice with the chop that I did. So we'll see. But I've just been training her aerial roots to grow back into the pot. As you can see, it's kind of a hot mess, but I am looking forward to getting her out of here. So I don't know if I want to chop up the whole plant and then just regrow her from a cutting so she doesn't look all gangly like that. I think I might do that, but we'll see. We'll do that together if we do. I'm not sure what I want to do at this point. I do want a really nice Devon's Tie though, and I just don't want that browning. So that leaf is probably for sure going to get chopped. So at least down to here, at least. That would be just these top two leaves, but we'll see. We'll see. I did take a propagation, like a stick prop for my friend, and it's not really doing so hot. So I kind of want to get her a better leaf anyways. So that could be a good reason to do it, right? But I'll put her back. And I repotted my Rhaphidophora tetrasperma. She needed it. She was just in that little tiny cup, and her root system was just wild. So I think I have a picture. I'll pop it up if I do over here of her root system to what she was in her pot size. Just terrible, just terrible. But she should be happier in this size of vessel. So hopefully her roots do okay with the transition, but she's just looking so good. I absolutely love her so much. I think she's so beautiful. I haven't cut her yet, But I don't know, do I want to keep her small or do I want to grow her up a pole? I kind of want to keep her small and just kind of let her crawl all over my plant room. I think that's the plan, but we'll see. We'll see. I'm not too sure yet. But for now, I'm just going to leave her because she is looking so good. All right, you guys, this is the middle and top shelf of my corner table in my plant room. So over here, we have this beautiful, beautiful queen, my Portulay hybrid that I think is crossed with Pap. And that is her newest leaf. Isn't she just gorgeous? I did repot her a while ago and her pot is full of roots and her oldest leaf looks like absolute crap. You want to see that? So yeah, so she didn't really like the transition too well to her new pot, but she's giving me a leaf, or an inflow actually. She did just give me an inflow, so I thought she would give me a new leaf. But she's giving me an inflow, so we've got another inflow coming. And her pot is quite full. I'm surprised at how full it is actually. So yeah, I'm gonna have to figure out whether I want to repot her or just chop her roots off that are in the bottom of the pot because she is getting pretty full, so she might be ready for a repot. And then we've got my beautiful Florida Beauty. You guys, I love my Florida Beauty so much. This is the newest leaf here, which is so pretty. I did post a picture of this on my Instagram. These are her older leaves, which I also love so much. Aren't they gorgeous? And then this is one of her older leaves, which is also very beautiful. And she's giving me a new leaf. So we'll see what that one looks like. Super interesting. This plant grows so fast. This is one that I used to grow up a pole and it got so huge. So I just kind of wanted to grow it on this bamboo stake and see how it would do. And yeah, it's doing good so far. Like the leaves are actually sizing up, which is super cool. I'm curious to see how big this new leaf is going to be. And then we have my Monstera Albo. She is doing so good too, you guys. She needs a she needs a pole extension. As you can see, she is climbing up a pole with no moss in the top of it. And I do want to get that extended sooner rather than later. And she also is going to need a repot soon. I'll have to look and see how many roots are actually in that pot. She might not need a repot right away, but she's definitely going to need a pole extension. And I just love her so much. Like, look at her newest leaf. Isn't that beautiful? She has just got the most beautiful balanced variegation that I've seen on a Monstera Albo, and I just love it so much. Like it's so good. So good. And then we've got my Luxurians crossed with Crystal Mag, and I did pollinate her with the Portulay hybrid. So the one that I just showed you guys, this one here, this darker one. Let me see if I can show you better. Yeah, her. So I think that would be really pretty to get some of that pink in the sinus of this plant. And it's already such a dark leaf. It's got that like dark blue sheen to it. So good. The older leaves look kind of crap. But that's okay. The new leaf looks amazing and beautiful, and her inflow is looking good. I pollinated her January 29th. So a month ago, basically. Month and a half ago. But look at her inflow. I think she's gonna she's got actually another flower coming, if you can see in there, right here. So yeah, I'll probably just collect the pollen off of that flower because I don't want to pollinate her twice, but she's looking so good. And I really hope that that takes because I think it will be a beautiful cross. And then we have my Epipremnum Neon Joy, some sort of neon Epipremnum, which I love the growth pattern of this. Like, look how flat it is laying. Goodness, it's so nice. Oh, we got lots of roots in there too, which is good. Perfect. And it's actually climbing the pole. This one is doing exactly what it's supposed to do, you guys. That doesn't happen very often. So I'm excited for this one. I really want to see some of those bigger leaves on it. I love how narrow they are. I think that that looks so cool. They're just really elegant. But yeah, so she's doing good. Look, I have an epipremnum on a pole. I'm proud of myself. All right, my dorayaki is back there and I want to show you guys. So I'm gonna need to move stuff out of the way. I actually wanted to look too because it's been a while since I've looked at this plant. So this is the older leaf. It looks like absolute crapola. But this is the newest leaf, and you guys, it looks pretty good. So hopefully she's doing what she's supposed to do. Do we see roots in here? Oh yeah, I see one, but I don't know. I might want to do a root check on this because this one doesn't grow very fast, and I really want to make some hybrids with it. So we're gonna have to do some investigating and just give it a little once over and make sure the roots are all healthy. That leaf looks terrible, but that leaf looks good, and this is the newest leaf. So yeah, hopefully it's just in a transition phase. Then I chopped up my Hoya Natalie, and this is the one that I kept for myself. It is in no drainage and pond though, which I want to take out because it's rooted now. I want to put it into drainage holes. But it's growing a stem, which is really exciting, a vine right here. And the leaves look nice and healthy. So yeah, that's another one that actually I have living down here too. So I have 2 Hoyas living down here. But I do want to move this one back upstairs, I think. I really like this one a lot because the outer edges of the leaves get sun-stressed black when it is under a lot of light. So I don't know if I want to put this one back into my tent or just under my Barinas, but I don't want to leave it down here. I want to find something to do with it. And then here we have my variegated Burley Marks, which is looking so good. I don't know if I want to keep her or not though. What do you guys vote? She is just a literal wild child. She grows like a weed. And I don't know. I do really like her. I just don't know if I want to keep that space for her when I have so many other plants I need to find homes for, like in my plant room. This is one that I could definitely let go, but we'll see. I'm not too sure. It looks like it's doing really good. Oh yeah, it's got roots like crazy in there coming out of the bottom. So she's definitely healthy and living her best life in there. Maybe I'll just keep an eye on her and see how I'm feeling closer to summer. All right, and then we have the top part of the shelf. So here we have my squamacol pink or blood that I bought from Jing a while ago. I did chop the top off of this to sell, and I have the cutting right here. And it looks like it's doing so good, you guys. I was nervous because I've heard these are bitch to propagate, but she seems like she's doing fine. Her leaf is not melting. I have her in chopped up moss and tree fern. And I don't see any roots yet though, so that's kind of concerning. But maybe she's focusing on her new growth. So I think I might just let her unfurl that leaf and then see if there's not roots on the side of the pot by then, because I do want to get this sent off to her new home. But I want to make sure that that leaf is unfurled first. This plant actually grows quite quick, which is wild. I didn't expect it to grow as fast as it actually does. So I'm excited to see it sprout a new leaf eventually here. I'm not sure where it's gonna come from. I don't see anything activated, but I'm sure she will soon. But she is looking so good and I love her so much. My philodendron squamacol blood. Still haven't repotted her. This is my dark forgetti crossed with dark phoenix, and she is blooming again, but she did just bloom and I did pollinate someone with her. I'll show you when I get to her. But this is her newest leaf. Isn't it just gorgeous? Like, that is so pretty. I am obsessed. It's so dark and I really want to get this out of its currant pot. Like that's pretty. Maybe that's the newest leaf. No, it's not. Anyways, her leaves are sizing down. She needs help. She's in one of these no drainage clear pots, and look at her stem. Like what the heck? So that's something on the to-do list I need to get done. But for now, she is just living on the top shelf of my little corner table here. And I have her raised up so that she can be seen way better. And then I just took this out of my cabinet. This is my silver dragon. She's so pretty, but she was starting to bleach. Can you see that? Like, I think that's bleaching anyways, unless I'm wrong, but definitely looks like she's starting to bleach. So I wanted to move her out of the cabinet. She has got tons of roots. She's gonna need a repot as well. And I'm gonna probably pull some corms from her because she probably has a few ready. I can actually see a couple starting. So yeah, but she's got a lot of leaves and I don't want her to be super sun bleached. So that's why I moved her out. But I think that's why like this leaf is facing down because it was facing away from the light. And then these ones just didn't really have anywhere to go. So they just got burnt. But yeah, we'll see how she does just on my cabinet. Hopefully she does better and doesn't get any more bleached. All right, this is my Doriaki crossed with Clarinervium, and I crossed her with, so I'm not sure what that will look like. That's her other leaf there. And she has a new leaf coming. But this and this. So I'm not too sure what that will look like. I didn't have anything in mind. I just had extra pollen, so I thought I would try it and see what came out of it. But yeah, she's always been one of my favorites. I really like the electric venation on her. She gives me multiple leaves, holds on to multiple leaves at a time. She is looking so good. She used to live on this gray shelf at the bottom, but I moved her up higher because she needed more room. So this is the inflow that we pollinated right here. I'm not sure if it's gonna take or not, but she's actually pushing another inflow here. So yeah, maybe I'll just collect that pollen. She has got a lot of roots actually, holy, and they're coming out of the bottom. So yeah, she's doing very well. She might need an up pot soon too actually, so we shall see. And then I have a regale back here. It's really hard to see, but it's beheaded and it's sprouting a leaf. So there's nothing really interesting to show for that one. But on my windowsill, I do have some things I want to show you. Oh no, I just took out an anthurium leaf. I want to show you these. Okay, so I chopped up my Medrium mint, which I'll grab and show you. I got this Medrium mint from Cafeteria in Greens. Do you see how minty it is? It's hard to show on camera, but it is very minty. So I bought this from Cafeteria in Greens and it literally just reverted on me. So I chopped it up. There's lots of wet sticks I have going upstairs, none of which have sprouted. And it's got a growth point coming in, but I also chopped some leaf props and I don't know how to tell if it's going to be minty or not. I might just have to wait to see if it burns in, but that's the newest leaf on this one. And then I chopped this one here, which was all green, and it's got a really nice growth point. So I'm just waiting on that to sprout. And then we have this leaf coming out, which is going to be fenestrated, and I'm really excited to see it. So yeah, I don't know. And then there's one more here as well, which is also turning out to be fenestrated, but it's so hard to tell if they are going to have mint variegation because the mint variegation takes a while to form. So kind of just got to be patient and see. But I think they were getting too much light in my cabinet, which is where they were. So I just put them on my windowsill. Hopefully that's not too much light there for them. My goodness, I almost just spilled this. But look, this is the new leaf on my Forgetii Silver open pollinated from Alice. You don't even grow here. It's so round and chubby. I just love it so much. She thinks it was open pollinated by itself. So we'll see. But here's the other leaves. Like, they're so precious. So yeah, she needs a repot. But I wanted to show you her newest leaf because it's literally so cute and so round. Like, that is insanely round. Look at that. So cool. And then we have my alocasia bisma, which looks like crap, and I need to just restart it. So I'm not going to pull this one out to show you, but yeah, she's still doing okay. She's just sitting there in the corner chilling. And then one that I did just repot and chop all of the leaves off is my Anthurium pallidiflorum that was upstairs. So my one that's not narrow, just my regular guy, it was just starting to look like crap again. Like, I sprayed the leaves down with Fizan and then it looked like it was doing okay, but then it just kept getting these like yellow spots on the leaves. So I just literally took it out, soaked it in Fizan and repotted it. So I'm hoping that this one does okay. Like, it should sprout from a couple different spots. Like, that's quite the stem. This just looks like a gnarly plant with a leaf coming at the end there. But look at my little mushroom. Isn't it cute when it falls? Yeah, I love my little mushroom. It's adorable. But hopefully this one does okay. I'm not too sure how it's gonna do in pond, but I'll keep you updated. And that is my windowsill plant. So I think we're gonna come to the plant shelf, so I'm gonna move you. So on the very top, we have my halomycans, which is doing wonderfully. No really new updates on her, but she is doing super cute and I love her so much. She's one of my favorite philodendrons. Shout out to Nick and Corbin for giving me another cutting of her because all of mine reverted. That was literally so sweet of them. And then my King of Spades, I did just top it with moss because I had a lot of bare stem exposed. And she hasn't given me a new leaf since last year, but I did repot her. So I'm just kind of waiting patiently and hoping for a new leaf on her very soon. And then my Nigrolaminum Gigi also needs a repot very clearly. Like, look at the stem and the pot of pond and roots. But that is her newest leaf there. Isn't that sleek, you guys? Like, that is so cool. I thought she would look awesome on my shelf because I don't have anything quite shaped like her on my plant shelf. I just thought it would add some character, but she definitely is going to need a repot. But this is pretty good for her first leaf in ambient, don't you think? So good. So yeah, I'm excited. And then we have this Monstera albo, which looks like it's turning all white on me. So I'm just kind of keeping it to see what it does, but that's the newest leaf there. Looks pretty white. Might chop it, haven't really decided yet. These half moon plants are always taking a gamble on because they usually tend to revert or go all white. Like, I want the perfect half moon plant, but that's just not possible. Not for me anyways. I've tried a million times. So I'm not sure what I'm gonna do with this, but I'm gonna keep it for now because it is pretty. Look at this new leaf, you guys. How pretty is this? Let me see. This is my Bessier Ave crossed with Luxurians, and oh my freaking God, that is something else. Look how purple it is. Bessier Ave just gives the most beautiful, colorful emergence. I am so shocked. Like, that is so pretty. Oh my God. Yeah. So she was facing my window, so I actually turned her around so I could see her. I'm like, I want to look at you every single day because you are just beautiful. So good. And then she hardens off. Pretty bluey, pretty dark. But yeah, she's so pretty. I'm so excited for her. I really hope that this style of video is doing okay and that the sound is going well. I need to invest in one of those mics that Charmaine has because I really like her mic, but it's expensive, so I'm gonna wait. So I just kind of have my mic propped up, so hopefully it's working. And speaking of Charmaine, actually, that was not intended, but this is my pendants from Charmaine. Look how good it's doing. I love this plant so much. It's so cool. So I did repot this one. a little while ago. I do see it starting to grow some new roots, which is exciting. But pendants originally grows like off of a tree. But I didn't want it to be super root bound because if it grows off of a tree, you would think it would be fine just having something to grab onto. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure what I'm doing. I'm just kind of winging it. But she does have a new leaf coming in, which is super exciting. And she does have a lot of leaves. I actually separated her pup and sold it to one of my friends that watches my videos. So I'm excited to see updates on hers and how it's doing. This thing, it just grows like a beast once it gets going. It's kind of crazy. I love it. We'll start over here. So this is the anthurium leaf that I almost just took out trying to get my medrium mints out of the back. So hopefully that is undamaged. But this is my red crystal crossed with pink lemonade, and I had to chop all her older leaves off. She just wasn't doing so great. So I repotted her and chopped some of her leaves off. No, I didn't repot her. I think I just topped her up. I think she had some of her stem exposed. But she's got a root coming out of the bottom, so I definitely didn't repot her, but I was just working with her. So I think that all I did was just top up the top of her pot. But I'm hoping that this leaf stays nice and that this one comes in nice because I don't want her to go down to a stump. She's so pretty and her emergent is just gorgeous. It took me so long to add a pink lemonade into my collection. Even if this is a hybrid, this is red crystal crossed with pink lemonade. It's still in the emergent, gives off that really pretty pink lemonade color. Oh, I just love it so much. I think it's beautiful. And then I don't even know, she doesn't really deserve to be talked about, this one. She's like my Monstera albo, just does not want to live. Wants to go all white. That's a pretty leaf. It is. And that leaf deserves to get talked about. But these ones, I don't know. I don't know about this plant, man. I did buy it knowing it was high variegation. I'd always do that though. And then I get disappointed when they melt. And I'm like, darn it, shouldn't have done that. But they're so pretty. My variegated plant friends, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. And then this is my baby. So this is my NSE red crystal crossed with Lux. Oh, I actually gifted Nick and Corbin one and they put an update on their Instagram the other day and it is looking so good. Oh my goodness. But I love her. She is damn near close my favorite. She is pollinated and I think it's taking. I think. It's hard to tell, but it looks like it's starting to sprout little something from it. Yeah, it's definitely swelling up. I think it did take. It just looks so different than any info that I've typically worked with. Is it going to focus? Anyways, I pollinated her with my dark forgetii crossed with forgetii, which I'm really excited about because could you imagine if this was peltate? Oh my goodness. So yeah, I'm really hoping that this takes because I'm so excited. And this will be one that I will be scared to give any seedlings away or sell any until I see the characteristics. I'm going to have with all of the seedlings that I'm going to have this year, I'm going to have no space because it's going to be hard for me to let them go because I really, really want to hold back most of them for their characteristics. There's a couple I don't really care about, but definitely this one. I'm keeping all of these plants to start anyways. But she's doing so good and she's filling up her pot with roots. So I think after I harvest these berries, I'm going to repot her. It's going to be hard to see in there, but she has a ton of roots in there. So yeah, but yes, I'm just patiently waiting because I love her. And look at that yellow leaf that's gonna come off soon. She's facing the window. And then we've got this one here, which is pretty dark. And then this one, which is really dark. So yes, we're excited for her. Okay, what's next? The lower shelf. Okay, so this one is from Charmaine as well. So this is a philodendron summer glory, but I have so many of these right now. I think I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think I have 5 of them. So I'm not sure which ones I'm going to keep and which ones I'm going to give away because I think that's too many. But look at her pretty leaf, like so beautiful. She is just in no drainage. I see Oh yeah, I remember looking at this one before saying I needed to check on the roots, but I do see some red roots in there, so I'm not super worried about it, but there's definitely some that look like they're dying off as well in there, which you can see like right in there. So I'm not too sure, but she is cute and doing good. And then we have my philodendron bicolor, which is also doing really good. It's pushing a leaf right now, which is super exciting. She's getting bigger, finally. I don't know if I want to put her on a pole or not. I think I'm gonna just try her on a bamboo stake and see if she sizes up on the stake, but I will need to attach her to something pretty quickly here because she is starting to need stability. And then this is my Labesia Electric Pink. She's growing, looking good. What a cool plant. I wanted to try more varieties of Labesia, which is why I purchased this one because it was super cheap. But yeah, she's been growing good for me. She's just in no drainage. Got lots of roots in there. Doing awesome. My SP Silver, which I recently moved out of my tent, and it's kind of pissed off at me. Look at that. We got that little mark there, the tip. This is the newest leaf, which isn't too bad at all. It's got a little tear at the bottom, but overall it looks pretty good so far. And then we have that one there, which is kind of yellowing off a little bit, but this one's still in the cocoa coir mix, so I do need to get it out of there. So that will be step one, repot, and I'm sure it'll be fine after that. It just needs to get out of this mix. It's got lots of roots though, so that's good. But yeah, my SP Silver Peru. I do love this plant a lot. Back here, I have a funky forgetty eye. Look at this forgetty eye, you guys. Oh my goodness. It is not looking happy. Not looking happy at all. I'm sorry if you hear coughing in the background. My kiddos are homesick today, so they're just upstairs playing. But yes, this forgetty eye has definitely seen better days. I don't even know why I'm keeping it. But she's got lots of roots. Well, not lots, but she's definitely got some in there, so that's positive. Maybe I should put her in a brighter spot. And now I wanted to show you my floor plants. So I'm gonna bring you guys back down to the floor. Okay, perfect. So this is the anthurium that I was talking about that was living on the bottom of my corner glass shelf that I had to move. It needs a repot, but this is why I moved it, is because this inflow was pressed up against the top of the glass, and I really want to collect the pollen off of this. So like this needs a repot worse than any other plant in my collection. So I just really hope this gives me pollen soon. I should probably just chop that flower off and repot it. We'll see. I really want to collect that pollen though, but it definitely does need a repot. That is crazy. Like what the heck? That is a lot of roots. This is also, I didn't even tell you what it was. This is my Ace of Spades Dark Form crossed with either Warwickwiatum or Selft from Northern Plant Room. She put both pollens onto the inflow, so it could be either or. Not too sure, but it is a really cool plant that really needs a repot. And this babe here is my Burley Marks Flame. So we'll start from the bottom. Look at all those baby leaves. And then we're getting closer. Oh, we have a claw. We got the lobster claw. And then the newest leaf is growing backwards, but it also has a claw. So that's exciting. So I'm not too sure if I want to chop the top off, like right here. Chop that off, root this out, and then put it on a pole or a stake, and then just sell the bottom cuttings. I think I'm gonna do that because it's getting really tall and I really don't need all those lower leaves, right? What would you guys do? Would you just let it keep growing? I'm not too sure, but I just have this like old piece of wood in here that I used to have in one of my frog enclosures. And she is definitely rooted in there good, so she could use a repot as well. But let me know what you guys would do. Would you top her, and then keep growing her and sell these bottom cuttings and buy more wish list plants? Or would you just let it grow? Let me know. And if you do chop it, if you would chop it if it was your plant, Would you put this on a pole or would you just keep trying to grow it on a bamboo stake? Those are the questions I have for you that you have to answer for me. But for now, I just have her just chilling here because she looks cute there. So yes, and then we have my table, which is going to be really hard to show you. I think I'm just going to reach from here and reach some plants off because it'll be easiest for me. So this guy recently had an accident. So this is my Dock Block F2 that I have been working so hard on to try and get growing nice. It fell. My teenager accidentally knocked it off of this table going onto the deck, which is fair. I wasn't upset at all. And honestly, the only thing that happened was the tip came off. But look at that. It's so freaking pretty, you guys. That is insane. So we're eagerly anticipating the next leaf. And no, I'm not chopping this off. I'm keeping this for now anyways. Like that is just insane. Insane. I actually have a prop of this for sale if you're in Canada of my Dock Block F2. So if you're looking for one, let me know. It's in my tent growing nicely. But she also is very root bound as well and is gonna need a repot soon. You can see all those roots in her. So I don't know, I'm gonna need to find a bigger pot for this. I don't know. I actually do have some bigger clear pots that I could use, but I wish these tower pots came in like huge sizes. Wouldn't that be sweet? That would be so sweet. But she's so pretty. I love my Dock Block F2 so much, and it's a tragedy that that happened, but you know what? At least my plant's okay, so I'm all good with it. So next up on this table, we have my Alocasia Bambino. She's doing good. She's definitely got overwatered. If you can see, she's holding on to a lot of water at her leaf tips. Oops, that was my bad. And this is her newest leaf right here. So no pink variegation that we see yet. And yeah, she's not too full. I just wanted to make sure that I drained some of her water out. Yeah, she's looking good. She's just reverted a little bit. So I'm kind of just keeping an eye on her to see if she's going to give me some more pink on her leaves or what she is planning on doing. But she still is really pretty. I really like this Alocasia a lot. Whether or not she has a whole bunch of variegation or not, she still is beautiful. And the one that I potted up from her babies, yeah, all of those Alocasias I potted up actually aren't doing so hot. I'll show you them. Okay, so I have 3 to show you. So this is the Bambino variegated, but if you remember, she had way more leaves than that, and they were all really pretty variegated. She dropped a whole bunch of them, a whole bunch. So I'm just kind of keeping her in my cabinet, hoping for the best, but she's literally so pretty. So hopefully she doesn't on me. And this is my Alocasia longiloba aurea. No, albo. She dropped her leaf, but she's growing another one. So we're okay with that. Alocasias don't like to be repotted, so I think that's why that they're acting like crazy people. But yeah, this is my Ninja variegated. This one was from tissue culture, and it dropped a whole bunch of leaves as well. So wish me luck. Maybe I should have stuck them in a prop box instead of my cabinet. I'm not too sure. I mean, the roots look fine, so I think it was just shock, but I'm not too sure. Gotta love Alocasias. But yeah, not too much more to show you with my Bambino. She's still really pretty and I really love her. I just wish she would sprout some more pink leaves for me, that's all. And then we have my Scindapsus tattoo. Scindapsus tattoo, which I really like a lot. But I did also chop this one. I'm not sure if I want to put it on a moss pole or a stake. I just have it on the stake for now, but yeah, I'm curious to see how she's going to grow for me on this stake. I really hope she grows nicely. because, you know, the less moss poles, the better. But if I have to put her on one, I definitely will, because I love this plant so much. And I would love to see some big, beautiful tattoo leaves. Like, how cool would that be? I swear I'm in my lazy girl plant era, where I just do like the most simplest fix for things. Hasn't always been like that, but lately I've just been like, nope, I'm not spending a whole bunch of time with my plants. I'm just doing what needs to be done, because I have so many other things in my life right now that need my focus. So I'm doing that. But look at this. Look how pretty that freaking emergent is. Like, that is just beautiful. Just beautiful. This is my dark crystal crossed with luxurians for my friend Dennis. And it's so pretty. This one has been moved out of my tent now for a little while, probably like 4 months, and it seems to be doing fine. Like, that leaf is so cool. I love it so much. And the color of the emergent, just to die for. Just to die for. So good. And the last thing I want to show you on this table is my big Lux. Has some berries that are starting to form, and I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to show you standing. Okay, let's just try to hold the camera and see what happens. So far so good. Still on the tripod and everything. Okay, there it is. Oh my goodness. Can I put this tripod right on the table? Push it down. Yes. Go me. And I'm just holding my microphone. But this here is the inflow that I'm trying to show you. I just have it resting on that petiole. But, oh, I wonder if I can show you guys. Oh, I don't want to compromise almost breaking it. But there's definitely berries growing on that. This is something really special. This is a collab with Nick and Corbin. So it's a really cool plant from one of their collections. And I want to show you guys what it is, but I want to wait until the berries are harvested and we can show you some plants. So I will show you guys once we harvest those. They're going to be so good though. We've been waiting so long for this and it's finally coming to fruition. So that's exciting. And this Lux is just wild and also has another inflow right there. Right there. So I'm going to have to collect that pollen as well. I'm holding my tripod. This is weird. And my mic. Anyways, we're going to move along to the other corner of my plant room. This corner here, excuse my really bad camera skills. So I'm going to put you down. Okay, I think that should do it. So first things first, I want to show you is my Syngonium Chia Pens. The new leaf is so beautiful. It's literally giving me Aglaonema Pictum tricolor vibes. Like, what the heck? It's literally camo. That is so cool. And this here was the leaf before it, which is pretty much all green, which I'm not mad about because we have a white one as well. So if the plant can keep up its balance, however it decides to, and doesn't melt any of the leaves off, I'll be okay with that. Even if we do get some all green leaves, it's fine. Because if we get leaves like this as well, like, wow, that is crazy insane. It's gonna be so good. I love this plant so much. I'm so happy with this purchase. I love her. Actually, I'm gonna need to attach her higher up as well. So I'll have to work on that. And then this is a plant I just moved out of my tent. So this is my Zara Michelle crossed with luxurians. That is the newest leaf. It is literally massive. Like, my head is right beside it. You can see how big it is. See how big it is. I don't have a big head, but you know. So yeah, she's looking good. I am obsessed with this plant. It is looking so good. Some of the older leaves, like it literally got burned by my Barinas in my tent, so I had to pull it out. It was getting way too close to the light, and it freaking exploded with this leaf. Like, this leaf is huge. Like, what a size up. That is insane. And yeah, we have some roots to cut off in there as well, but I think she's gonna do just fine out here. I think all my Lux hybrids are gonna end up out here eventually because they're pretty hardy. Just gotta make sure they have a good root system first, and then you can move them out, right? And then, see if I can lift her up without crashing anything down. I did it. This is my El Chaco. She is looking so good, but she definitely needs a shower. You can see she's got lots of EFN on her. But like, oh, she's doing so good, you guys. I grew this one from a stick as well. You can see she's getting big, and the back of her is just so pretty. Like, look at that red. So good. I love it. And she really likes the tree fern and moss pole. She has so many roots in there. It is ridiculous. And I also need to extend this pole as well. She's doing so good. Oh, she has lots of roots too. I'm gonna have to repot her, I think, into something bigger as well. This one is massive. Like, when I say massive, I mean probably my biggest anthurium. Look how big that is. Like, that is insane. This is a Pappy crossed with a Mag. And it's just so beautiful. This is the Emergent. It's almost hardened off. It's not quite hardened off. And then she's got a bloom there, which is a nice size. And she's another one that's in the Cocoa Coir mix, though, that I need to get out ASAP. And then she's got... Oh my goodness, this is so hard to show you guys. She's also got this one as well. I'm gonna lift the camera. Like, she is a pretty decent size. I don't know, that wasn't really helping lifting the camera. But yeah, she is massive. I really, really like this one a lot. She's just so big and beautiful. And like, that's just wild. So wild. This one actually isn't even mine. This is my friend's, part of our breeding program that we're doing. But I've been growing this for so long. And she just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Like, she's just massive. I love her. Okay, so that's the plants on top of this table here. Now we're gonna go to this long table. I used to just have props on this long table, but now it's mostly plants. So I'm just gonna do them one by one. So this is my Monstera Mint, her newest leaf. I'm so excited for this plant, you guys. And she's also pushing another one. And this was her OG leaf, which she's burning off, but that is okay. She has some nice, fresh, fuzzy roots in there too, which I'm really eager about. Ooh, I'm so excited. I really cannot wait for this to grow. What a dream plant. I was very grateful when my friend Katira gifted that to me. I felt very grateful. That was super sweet of her. And then, you guys, I took this out of my cabinet. This is my Alocasia reversa. It just was growing crazy in there. There's not much room. It's so cool to just keep in a cabinet. Like, I love this plant so much. It's so quirky and just so cool. Like, it is literally such an interesting Alocasia. I love it. And she is going to need a repot soon. And I do want to see if there's worms in her as well, but I dropped a piece of Lecco. There it is. Sorry. But I want to see if she can grow me another leaf in ambient before I take her out. But look how cool she is. We love her. And then we have my Monstera Peru, which I also moved This one was on my little brown stand beside my cabinet, but as you can see, she was getting burnt from being too close to my light. So I moved her because we don't want girl to burn. But look how pretty she is. Monstera Peru variegated takes forever to get going, but once it starts growing, holy bananas, it just takes off. And this one I did cut and it just grew right away. It grew all of this back, all of this. So I cut it not too long ago either, like it wasn't a super long time ago. So I'm glad to see that it's growing back nicely for me. That's good. Pin this back up here. Yeah, so hopefully she starts growing nicely and is happy not getting burnt over here like she was over there, because she is such a beautiful plant. So yeah, this is another one that I just have growing on a stake. I don't know how big the leaves would get if I put it on a pole. Have you guys put a variegated Peru on a pole? And if so, how big did the leaves get? Like, did they get massive? Because that would be cool too, actually. Is there a variegated Pinetti partita? Pinetti partita is like Peru, but it fenestrates as it matures. And I've always wondered if there was a variegated one, because a variegated fenestrated one would be super cool. All right, so this is my no ID from my friend Emma, and she commented and said it's giving off Regal vibes, and yes it is, right? So maybe this is a Regal hybrid. I'm not too sure though, so it's just a no ID for now. But it literally is so cool. I love this plant and it won't stop blooming. I actually did just pollinate this one as well on the 29th with the dark Forgetii crossed with dark Phoenix, which I'll grab for you to show you. This is so hard. Okay, these two. So we crossed these two together. So I'm hoping to get a super dark leaf like this with the cool venation. Maybe even a closed sinus with the Forgetii in there. We'll see. But I think that they will make some interesting babies. So I'll keep you guys posted. And that's another one that I won't let go of the babies until I see the characteristics. But her inflow that was pollinated is this one, and it looks like it's doing something. Like, it doesn't look like it's dying off or anything. And we have another one coming out. This literally has been blooming so much, and we have a new leaf coming. And I just had to chop off a bunch of leaves that were yellow like this. So I don't know, I think I need to super feed this plant because it just keeps growing so fast, and I don't know if I'm keeping up with the feed fast enough. But now that the season is getting a little warmer, I think I'm going to start feeding my plants a bit more. The next plant I have is this Alocasia odora aurea, or Alocasia gagiana aurea was what I bought it as, but I think it was reclassified to odora. But this plant has not done anything at all in so long. It's giving me smaller leaves. Maybe it's because of the season, and I used to be like obsessed with this plant because it would give me the prettiest leaves. But I don't know, like this leaf looks like it's falling off. It's got really nice roots in there. So, oh, and we have a corm here that just fell off. Okay. So maybe I should go corm hunting and start this plant over, because I'm just not in love with how it's growing. I think I might do that, because I did really love this plant at one time, but now it's just growing silly for me. So I'm not sure if I need to give it more light or if it's just too cold or what, but like this is the newest leaf. It's so tiny, and I don't think this has pests. I have a cockroach thing on here. I don't see anything, but I would have to look with my microscope. Maybe that's something else I should do. Okay, I have a couple smaller ones to show you guys. So this is a begonia that I did not put in my begonia tour because I forgot about it. This one is from my friend Nessa, and look how pretty it is. She thinks it's a Benigo pink. I'm not too sure. If you guys know, let me know. It's got that red sinus. There was one more I had in mind of something it could be, but I can't remember what it is now, so I don't know. But it's got lots of roots in here, so that's good. Looking good. And I think it's super pretty. I love it. And it's in my cute little wonky pot that I found at the, did I buy this at the thrift store or at the plant store? I don't remember, but it's super cute. This is my Alocasia, no, this is my Hoya lacunosa Queen Midori. And this one I was just waiting for it to root a bit more before I potted it up. But look how cute it is. Like, those new leaves are so beautiful. And this one is from Simran. Simran just sent me a whole bunch of new plants too. I'm gonna have to show you guys an updated a plant haul because I got plants from lots of people. After my wish list video I posted, a lot of people wanted to trade with me or send me plants. So I do have a lot to show you guys. I just haven't got there yet. So that one will come out as well soon. So yeah, I really like the Lactinosa Queen Midori. This was one I wanted for so long. So I'm gonna have to check and see how her roots are doing because I do want to pot her up and put her with her other friends. She's so cute. This one here is my Meg crossed with Dark Mama or Lux from Somaya at the Northern Plant Room as well. And so this one was pollinated with Dark Mama and Lux pollen. So I'm not too sure what she is. She doesn't really look too Luxy to me though, so I would guess Dark Mama. But this plant has always grown so weird for me. So weird. Like it'll yellow off. It has like these weird leaves. And they're very like leathery. This was in my tent and I took it out probably 3 months ago and it's starting to grow a little bit better out here. So maybe it didn't like the humidity, but I'm not sure. It's still kind of ugly. But I really want to grow this out to see what it looks like when it's mature, but it just does not look good right now. So if you guys have any tips or tricks for me, let me know, please. The roots look good, so I'm not too sure. This here is it's my Carla crossed with Regarden's Pap. And I really like this one. I like how dark and beautiful it is. And I shouldn't have taken this one out of my tent so quickly. I think I repotted it too around the same time, which it's got good roots. They're growing out of the bottom. But a lot of the leaves kind of took a hit for the worse. And this is the newest one. You can see the bottom is kind of warped a bit, but that's okay. I'm hoping the next leaf looks okay. So I don't know. I guess you either take them out and suffer through all of the miserable leaves, or you try and take them out and put them into ambient when they're growing nicely and they have a nice root system and like trying to make sure all of the conditions are perfect. It can be really hard sometimes, and even if you do all of those things, sometimes they still come out looking like crap. But I think this was my fault. I think I shouldn't have repotted it so soon as when I transitioned it into ambient. So yeah, but that's okay. I love my Carla hybrids and she's actually so pretty. So this is my Epi Elbow that I keep saying I'm putting on a pole and I never do. It's got a runner so long. I have another one that has a really long runner too. I want to show you guys. Look at this. This is a Scindapsus Waxy Silver Hero. And yeah, that is insane. I need to put it on a pole. I tried on a trellis, but clearly it wants a pole. So yeah, I'll probably chop these off and just put them in my prop box and try to regrow them. This here is my Crystal Mag, and it's growing back, and it's still in the Cocoa Coir mix. As you can see, it's got lots of roots. We need to save her. She's so pretty. She is too pretty to not save. Like, that is absolutely beautiful. I love her so much. And then the last one on that table is my Philodendron Gigas. She is looking so good since her repot, but now she is grown off her pole, which I need to fill with moss. And she's got some big, beautiful leaves growing. And there's not even any moss in there, so she's just keeps sizing up regardless. But I don't know if this leaf is gonna be big, so I'm gonna have to actually figure her out. And she's growing backwards now. Like, she's literally growing behind her pole, so I don't know, man. I should have probably filled her up with moss and not had that happen and just kept attaching her, but now I might have to chop her again. I'm not too sure. I don't want to though. So I'm gonna try to fix it, but we'll see. We'll see, because I literally just did this not too long ago. This is why moss pole life is not for me. So then we are gonna, I can't lose this corm. I probably will forget that. But we're gonna move along to, let's see if I can get us some more light here. Move along to my corner over here. So this is my first one. This is my Butterfly Pap, which you guys have seen before. And you know I love her very much. She is just gorgeous. She's giving us a new leaf, which is really exciting, and an inflow. So I don't know how long you guys have been watching, but the last couple leaves and inflows I have somehow seemed to have broken off. So I'm not allowed to touch her, so we're gonna put her down. But she is so pretty, and I literally love this plant so much. I'm so excited to make some hybrids with this one day. She's gonna be so good. And she's got lots of healthy roots too. I just wanted to take a quick look. And then next, we have my philodendron Esmeralda Dense, and she is on a big pole. And honestly, I don't know how I'm feeling about her anymore. I kind of want to chop her up and sell her. I don't know. I've tried so long with her. I think I'm just over it, to be honest. Like, this is another one that grows really fast up her moss pole. She's in no drainage, which I don't like for moss poles. She's doing really good, but I just don't know if this is a philodendron that I want in my collection anymore. Like, there's just so many other philodendrons, and I'm trying to like really be specific about what plants I bring into my house. And I don't know if I'm in love with this philodendron anymore. Like, her leaves constantly get stuck coming out. She's getting EFN now. I don't know. And she needs moss in her pole too. So I think this is one I might be saying goodbye to. I'm not sure yet though. So let me know what you guys think in the comments, please. And then one that I most definitely will not be getting rid of is my Amedrium green. You guys, look at her. She looks so good. Oh my goodness. So I have two vines growing up here. They're both doing amazing. I am gonna need to extend this pole, but the pole is really floppy. I wanna get it out of no drainage into drainage. It's literally black and you can't see in there. But look at her. She's so pretty. This is her newest leaf. Oh, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to show you. Let's see if I can bring you up. Yeah, perfect. Okay, that was really close to my face, but here is her newest leaf. That is so stunning. And then on this side, no, we got, this is the newest leaf on the other vine, the one that's closest to that side of the pole. That is her newest leaf on that vine. And then on this vine, we have this leaf here. Literally so gorgeous. This is the plant that literally got me into tropical plants. And the day I found it, I was so excited, and for all good reasons. Like, this is way cooler than a Monstera, in my opinion. I think that is so pretty. Like, what the heck? Love. Love, love, love. And I'm glad that she's growing nicely for me, because my silver one is not, which we will get to. But definitely is not. Okay, let's see if we can Jenga these back. And this here is another Happy Meg that I'm growing for my friend. And it's pretty big too. It's super pretty. And this one is also in the Cocoa Coir mix. So kind of just waiting on that. But yeah, it's looking really good. So I'm gonna have to repot that into a better mix and make some babies with her. She's doing good as well, and she's actually pretty big as well. I have a treat for you. The Summer Glory is giving us a new leaf, and look how beautiful it is. It's pink. Like, what the heck? I was trying to show you guys a new leaf last time I featured this plant, and none of my plants had a new leaf. But this is like the perfect leaf to show you. That is just insane. It is literally so beautiful. And the back is also pink, in case you were wondering. But this is her. She is doing amazing, and I am obsessed with that new leaf color. It is so pretty. This is a Philodendron Summer Glory, if I never said that yet, and she crawls along the soil, so she is actually a crawling philodendron. I'm gonna have to repot her. I actually have a pot for her. I just have to dig it out and put her in there. So yeah, she's looking good. I wanted to show you guys that beautiful new leaf. Told you guys I would show you my medium silver. I literally dropped her. She fell, spilled everywhere, got damaged, and now I kind of want to chop her up. I'm not too sure, but I'm sad because I love this plant, but just had to drop her one day. So yeah, she's not looking so hot, but she is doing okay. She's just not looking good. That's all. She's just not looking good. She's got lots of leaf damage from falling and crashing to the floor. Oops. All right, you guys, that is it for me for today. Thank you so much for being here. It's always a pleasure having you. I took a whole month off and totally skipped over my 1-year anniversary on YouTube. So I would like to thank you guys all from the bottom of my heart for all of your support and kindness from the last year. It has just been an incredible year of growth, and I'm looking forward to another year under the belt. So that will be good. If you guys have any video ideas, please leave them below. If you like this video, please consider hitting that like button down below. Leave me a comment. Let me know how your plants are doing. I'm excited to hear. And if you haven't subscribed, please consider hitting that subscribe button. YouTube will notify you anytime I post a video, so you will be among the first to know. But that is all for me for today, guys. So thank you so much, and we will see you in the next one. Bye!